Hello. Okay, I think we're live. Um,
It's been a while.
it has been a while. I was expecting that to automatically transition, um, but it did not. So, uh, hello. I don't have chat open. If there's anyone here,
Howdy, hero.
there are some people. Look at that.
Audio seems to work.
Awesome. Sounds good. I'm just in the process of fixing my Git here, because I have to fix some changes to get the most recent version of the PR. I think I just have to
In the meanwhile,
pull it.
let me just send something in this chat so people are entertained.
Oh, I think I had to pull and then
Oh yeah, I think
pull and
especially
then
quiet.
reset. That's what it is. Am I quiet?
Yeah, you're very quiet, special.
I'm very
On the
quiet.
stream.
Interesting. Why is that? Um, I should be like at the same volume as everyone else. Okay, apologies to my Discord friends. I'm just gonna turn me up and you'll have to suffer. You can turn me down Discord for now if you want. Is that a little better? Or blue is loud. Yeah, I agree. That's just who he is.
Don't say that to me. Sending everyone away to another YouTube video. It's just
bad
entertainment.
I really know nothing about Git. Oh gosh.
Should I send like our last module video in chat?
Ah, sure.
Yeah.
We're working on some new ones, we promise. Break.
In the meanwhile, you
Sorry.
can watch this module video.
I think so. If for people who are here in stream, we can give a couple of little spoilers. The next module video that we're planning on releasing is for Lightning in a Bottle. So exciting to finally have that one be released, kind of into the marketing world.
Hero says new modules or videos. Well,
mostly just videos because we have so many that don't have
Both.
videos.
I think both, right? Because didn't someone... I remember some talk about a new module, but I don't remember what.
You were gonna make a new mod.
Yeah, but then I gave the idea away to Dennis, I think.
No, and then you took the idea I had. Unless you don't want to do that anymore, I can still do that.
I forgot what the idea was that you had. Can you remember that again?
The hotbar switcher.
Oh yeah, the hotbar switcher. Yeah, I still want to do that. I just forgot about it over Christmas.
Maybe we can do a dev day.
We should do it. That would be cool for a stream, maybe. Because I mean, the thing that stopped me from making it before Christmas was I wanted to give the thing a name, and I couldn't come up with a name for the item.
Oh, we're gonna spend a whole stream thinking of names again.
Yeah, the stream chat is currently thinking about your name. Who is that other voice? I don't recognize. I haven't kept our Gamemode 4 internal since
BPR.
Yes, this is
Which
BPR. I don't know if
stands
he's ever been in stream voice before.
I was briefly, but then I had to mute myself.
Oh, was that back when we reviewed Orbovanku or something? Before?
Reviewed and equivalent exchange.
Equivalent exchange. Yeah, that was a stream about it, way back.
Yeah.
No sushi,
been
don't
a
fall off the
while.
lamp. Been a long while.
Yep.
I think I'm almost there with the Git stuff.
Special is trying to reset his Git to Mizzo's.
Yeah, so I did something really, what I thought was smart at the time, but apparently is not smart. So I was trying to, so the Beet stuff is one of the things that it fixes is like how our module release packager does world gen related packs, because for our current release thing doesn't quite work for anything involving world gen. So the apple trees PR that like shifts trees to being created in a world gen isn't properly like packaging. And so I was trying to test the new packager. So I merged the apple trees PR into the Beet PR on my own computer, and apparently that's really hard to undo. So
just delete the branch and start over.
That's where I'm at. For some reason, it's aborting. Okay, well that's neat. I don't have any local changes now. I'm just set back 2 years. Okay. Let me just get branch.
Before Special accidentally hard resets the entire Gamemode 4 repository to like 2018.
This is why we use version control, so we can undo this. Is it /D to delete? -D? Cannot delete.
It's what I Google is a mood, Jerry. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Gamemode 4 is cancelled. Special accidentally reset the entirety of Gamemode 4 to like 2016. We only have damaging snowballs and bad grenades now. Jerry's has capital D.
Capital D. Okay, that might be the problem.
Big D.
I have to change branches, then delete the branch, and then make a new one. Which is going great.
I mean, honestly, that does the
Here,
job if you don't want to keep anything.
Here, I'll let Blue entertain you on stream, so you're not just staring
Where
at
am
my VS
I?
Code. I'm coming to you.
Should I turn on the sound machine?
Oh gosh. If you want to give everyone, like, fear of metallurgy.
Just stand next to the sound machine, I'll turn it on.
Yeah. Oh, where'd the cat go? Unfortunate.
Wait, where did Maxwell go? I can summon him back in, don't worry, he'll be back. Back, there he
Okay,
is.
there we go. Branch deleted. Step 1. Step 2, reopen branch. There we go. That only took... How long have we been streaming?
Probably like 15 minutes.
Actually, only 10 minutes. That's not bad. It only took 10 minutes for me to learn how to do Git. I have to relearn how to do Git, like, every time. Every time I do something with Git. Alright.
Wait, show it to Cat again, I just got him to spin.
Nice. Alright. I hope this didn't nuke my poetry. We'll see. Oh, that's not how you spell poetry.
I hope these letters and stuff, I think you have to
There we
zoom in
go.
quite a bit, Special. Because it's really small on the screen and
okay,
probably
cool.
unreadable.
How do I zoom in
Control
VS
plus.
Code? Control plus?
Control plus. Yep.
Ooh. This is there's something very aggressive about VS Code at this font size, but I'm sure it looks normal to everyone else. It's like Discord full screen. There's something wrong with it. Okay, so I think...
PS3 was a nice server.
Oh, I've also got to do... My linter's gonna be mad if I... So, I think... I guess I'll kind of talk about... So we're looking at Misode's PR for Beet, specifically. He has rewritten our kind of package and release system to use Beet, but better. We currently use... Gamemode 4 currently uses Beet for taking our modules and packaging in things like the base, which has lantern load, which deals with how do you start modules, and the controversial intro song that plays when you first log in. All that's handled in a shared folder that's put in all of our modules before we put them on the website, and we currently use Beet for that. But this PR, very professionally named Beet 2 Electric Boogaloo.
It was named Beet 2 before, but there was a missed opportunity. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if it was either Blue or Masode that renamed it, but this is like kind of more fully using the powers of Beet to like actually build our modules from what's more akin to a source code kind of format, instead of just having all the files and like moving them around. So if you're looking to kind of follow along and start using this kind of on your own end, or in the future, we're also one of the reasons we're streaming is kind of for future developers who are trying to get into the Gamemode 4 system, since this kind of presents a new hurdle to kind of get used to. Before, you just had to know data packs and you could kind of deal with it, but with Beet, you kind of have to know a little bit more on how to actually develop things in the Beet ecosystem first. So that's one of the reasons we wanted to stream both all of our developers or most of our developers getting kind of up to speed on how to use this so we can figure out what our problems are, and also so in the future when I'm trying to think of someone who might make a module in the future. When Sparks comes back, to do Game Mode 4, he can, potentially use the stream as a kind of crash course for how
when
we
Sparks
use
comes
Beet.
back like a phoenix rising from the ashes of Game Mode 4 after it all went downhill. People are saying that you should use dark mode or GitHub. I don't think you can change that without going your settings.
I have to have a balance between dark mode and light mode. I don't really know why I am this way, but if all of my things are dark mode, it doesn't work, and if all of my things are light mode, it doesn't work.
Also,
all my code editors are dark mode. All my websites are light mode. It's a weird. I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna get shunned for this, but still.
Cherry likes light mode more. Anyways, can you zoom in a bit on the website as well?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Because the compression ruins it otherwise.
Okay, so This is just the PR. Misode has written up this great description of kind of what is involved, but we're going to try to go through it. We're hoping to keep this stream kind of short, so you won't be here too long watching me type and muddle through console commands, but the contributing markdown has been updated to be. I found this really useful, the kind of install process for how to get involved in Game Mode 4. So the first thing I guess I kind of wanted to bring up, I don't know if Blue or BPR, if you guys want to follow along on your own computers or just watch, it's up to.
I will probably just watch and I'll install later, but you can just skip back by 3 or 4 minutes and special explain that. I'm watching chat for you, so I'm doing that for you.
Okay, thank you. So the first kind of thing is poetry. So feel free to jump in at any time if I mess something up. This is how I understand it, and I think might be useful for someone who knows nothing about other development, because that's where I sit. Poetry is a virtual environment thing, so we have a bunch of dependencies in Python modules that do things like nbtlib or Beet, and so poetry is just a virtual environment that lets all make sure that the build system has the right versions for everything without having to force you to uninstall pip uninstall things whenever you want to deal with Gamemode 4. So that's what poetry is. It seems to be really nice. It took me 2 seconds to set it up, and so that's basically what I just did here. I just turned on poetry shell. So now this terminal knows which version of Python to point to. Of course, VS Code doesn't, which is why it's yelling at me about all these things, but I think that's okay. I think if I do this, I might get the path to the executable. Yeah, okay. Hello? Maybe not.
Damn, nicknames on YouTube now? Huh. Apparently. Another thing that Beet does, just to add on to Special's talk about what Beet does, is Beet also, we have this base module called Gamemode for Base, which basically has a bunch of functionality. Special already mentioned it has the intro song, lantern load, that sort of stuff, but it also has common block text we use for Gamemode 4, so all the projectiles can pass through blocks without collision, that sort of stuff. But in the future, this Beet functionality will expand quite a lot. Using the Beet PR, we can do way more, automatically generate function trees using Beet, or generate MC function or JSON files. That's something that Beeps did for example, we do it right now, but we manually ran the Python script, and in the future, that Python script will be automatically run by Beet when the modules are built on GitHub and deployed.
Yeah, so right now our base is, I just pulled it up, so we've got a couple of common block tags in here, and the intro song that Epion made, as well as all the lantern load, which is great. So, and,
Jerry is asking you what your background is.
I wish I could tell you. I have a folder of approximately 300 different backgrounds that change every 30 minutes. Right now, it's this lovely butterfly. Yeah. So, that was weird. My mouse was like locked. Okay, so I think the best way to kind of go through this is to just kind of follow the Markdown MD and kind of show what it is and how kind of things work. And yeah, I think that was kind of the plan. So Gamemode is written. So Beet has a bunch of commands, like it's a command line utility for, you can build one time or watch a pack and automatically link it to a world. Gamemode wrote a couple of kind of custom commands that just kind of encapsulates our most common usages, which is really great because we have a lot of modules and the default commands are all just a little bit hard to use because of that. So, not get, excuse me. So here's beet dev is one of those commands. Oh, excuse me. One directory up. So the dev command is kind of the encapsulated one that kind of is what Gamemode made for us to use. We pretty much just give it the module that you want to work on, and it only builds that instead of all 84 of our modules, which takes a while. Since, I mean, there's just a lot of code for it to go through, and especially things like autocrafters, which pull in every vanilla recipe. So, GM4 Beet dev back grenades will build just back grenades and plop it into out. It's right there. I have a couple leftover ones from the last time I was looking at this PR. So from the back grenades file folder with the regular function stuff, it's now built this what would be a zip on the website, but here it's just unzipped, so you can like inspect what it's done and you can see all the things it's put in there as well as all of the Gamemode stuff. So that's pretty straightforward in terms of building a module.
Notably, to highlight the difference between the build module version and the raw module version, if you open that folder again, especially the GM4 and it's got bad grenades,
Yep.
that will show that there's the base module in there, like the GM4 namespace, which contains the base, and like a bunch of dependencies that are not included in the GitHub repository version of the module. That's the one at the top, which only has, if you open the data folder for that, only has like the bad grenades namespace itself.
Yeah, this one up here. So this is the one in the repo, and this is what was built down here.
Yeah, if you can open the data folder up there as well, so people can see the difference.
Oh, yes, sorry. There we go. So these are the things that you would use to develop. One, I guess, big change that comes with this is that our regular main branch of the repository is no longer going to be, I guess, executable. So previously, the way our repo was structured was that, I think I have another VS Code window here. Yep, okay. So this is our current VS Code, or yeah, this is what our repository looks like. So we have a folder for every one of our modules. That's just so we don't have a repo for every module, because that would be insane. This might be restructured in the future, but the way it is currently, prior to this PR and Beet change, is that each one of these is you can take this folder, you could take this folder and put it into your Minecraft world, and it just has everything to run pretty much on its own. You might need to, currently you would need to put like the back grenades folder and the base folder, so base would tell back grenades to run. But it would do that. So you could essentially clone our repository into your datapacks folder and have all of our modules. Post the Beet kind of change, you won't be able to do that from the main branch. Instead, you'll have to do it from the releases branch, which is just the branch where we actually send all of these out things are just put on the releases branch. So that's one change.
Locally?
Do I have that locally?
Yeah, the releases branch, so people can look at it, because that might be nice for people to see how it's structured.
I don't think I have it local.
You can also
I
just
can
open
look
it
at
on
it
the
on
website.
GitHub.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we already have a release branch. So if you want to like download all of our modules, you'll have to do it from like clone this the version folder in the release branch, for example. It does make it a little bit harder to develop, which is kind of why this is a big change that we wanted to talk about. Because, for example, if you wanted to tweak bat grenades to explode with 8 times the firepower, you wouldn't just be able to go into the main thing and change the firepower. You'd have to go into the main source code and explode and give it a, change the firepower to, that's not 100. I don't think this is how explosion radius works, but you'd have to change it in here, and then you'd have to rebuild it.
Basically, the barrier of entry is raised a bit. However, this allows us to do way more.
Yeah, so for example here, now if we go to the out folder in here and look at this function, you can see now it's actually got the right explosion radius. So when it's just regular MC function, I got yelled at for saying that wrong the other day. Yeah, it seems a little redundant for that because, I mean, the source code is MC function files and the output is MC function files. But where it starts to kind of shine, in addition to, when you have libraries, for example, Apple Trees has, I think Apple Trees requires libtrades, so you can trade with wandering traders. And Beet is what's responsible for making sure that libtrades gets put into the build version. But also it had, it also shows its power when you have modules like, what's one that has a generator at the moment? Autocrafters?
Autocrafters, yeah.
I don't know if I want to build that on stream because that'll take forever. What else is there that has? Does anything else have generators?
Assemblers is also one.
Disassemblers.
I don't think it will take that long.
My computer for some reason does not like autocrafters. I don't know what it is about it. So, for example, disassemblers. This one uses this generate disassembly Python file, which actually generates a lot of the code that actually runs. So this one, for example, I think just creates all the recipes for decrafting. Yeah, so it's got, durabilities for all the chances. I think it uses the resources provided by Beet itself to actually get the recipes, I believe, from the game, like the base game. So if Minecraft added or if Minecraft changed the, I don't know, diamond pan, or I guess it doesn't do diamonds, but the chestplate recipe to be something different, in theory, this would update with that as long as we regenerate, which is nice. And that's really where the power of this change comes from. So I think if I can do, for some reason my VS Code is not letting me recall the previous command. Is that the clean? Is that the new shortcut for clean?
OPM without question.
Yeah, it's clean or C.
Okay. Yeah, I asked for some additional kind of flags for this beet dev command, clean. I found myself cleaning out this out directory all the time. For example, if I accidentally built all 84 modules, this got really big, and so clean just, there we go. Oh, couldn't load project config. Oh, did I misspell disassemblers? I might have done that.
That extra S in the first one. I misspelled that like 20 times the other day when I was trying to change something.
I don't know why this shell is not letting me get the previous command.
Close the shell and then reopen a new one. It should remember the virtual environment.
I had this problem the last time
then
I
you
used
get
it.
the normal.
It just doesn't instead of using poetry, use like a regular shell?
Yeah, and VS Code should apply the virtual environment. If you open a new one now.
I want just command prompt. There we go. Okay, that's much better. This assemblers.
Don't call it that.
You don't need the gm4 underscore for
You don't? I thought you did.
the command. No. Mm,
That's nice, actually. I thought you did need the thing.
You're in the wrong folder.
It's in the wrong folder, yeah.
Ah,
You want to low.
it's because I'm in a workspace. Because looking at all of the modules is a little overwhelming in the sidebar. So I made I just have a workspace of the ones I'm looking at. There we go. That should be better. Thank you for fixing or pointing out all of my problems. Yeah.
I have a Python error.
Yeah, that's fun. Okay, well, you get the idea. It did seem to actually build for some reason. Oh yes, it's just a syntax warning, not a.
That's JP's fault, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just a warning. That's not a problem. But you can see all of the. I think it generates everything in. Is it all of these? Yeah, it generates all of these.
Tables, yeah.
So all of these loot tables, because no one likes working with loot tables. They're a pain in JSON format. So yeah. Hopefully we've kind of shown you why we're changing. So I guess what else I kind of wanted to talk about today was just kind of going over some of the commands that the syntax that we have from Gamemode for this particular custom command, and also kind of showing maybe the reload stuff. Is there anything else that we should try to take a look at, do you think, Blue and Beeps?
Maybe you could briefly go over the beet.yaml files.
Oh, yes. That's a good one. Okay, so I have to pull up the cheat sheet myself.
Yeah, maybe to mention, right now if you look at special screen here, the upper gm4 underscore disassemblers, that's the raw module as it would appear in the GitHub master branch.
Yes.
That doesn't contain a pack.mc meta anymore. So it's not a valid data pack. That's what special also meant with you can't just clone the repository anymore. Not only may we restructure the repository in the future to put all the modules, all these raw modules in the source folder, but also they don't contain a pack.mc meta anymore. Instead, Beet will generate a pack.mc meta dynamically.
Exactly. So we used to actually use the pack.mc meta to contain all sorts of information about the module on the website. For example, all of the credits for the module were in the pack.mc meta. We also kind of used it to list these are the libraries that the Beet 1 packager used. So, but I think we've switched out. So now pack.mc meta is just more vanilla, I believe.
Yeah, why doesn't put
we might talk about putting credits in here too.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, because the old
in release version, I think, or it creates a credits.md file.
Okay, cool. I think I remember seeing that actually. So
Where?
Yeah. So there's on the inside there's like 3 different build processes. The Beet dev is for developing, and so it doesn't do all of the build stuff. It just does moving things. And then the actual build stuff, I think, does it would do the pushing to the modrinth and stuff, and also listing.
I posted the command in the live stream chat, which would build as if the GitHub action would create a release.
Okay. I hope this doesn't. Oh, I don't have the secrets. The
Yeah,
secrets
you
on my
can't do
computer,
anything
so
wrong.
it shouldn't
fine.
have any problems.
Yeah.
Can I do this for just one module, or will this do everything?
No.
Okay. I'm not gonna do it now because my computer, I don't know what it is. I think it might just be autocrafters, but it took like 10 minutes last time. But I think that was also because it was transferring, it was trying to do it not zipped and also transferring to my single player world. So I'm not gonna do that if that's okay with all y'all out there in cyberspace.
Chat didn't react within 0.5 seconds, so I think you're fine.
Awesome, perfect. There's no delay. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so let me get back on track. We were gonna go over the commands. So I think for Gamemode 4, we're almost entirely going to be using the Beet dev to develop modules, which is just Beet dev, and then the list of the data packs that you're wanting to develop, like test actively. So back grenades, liquid tanks. You can put multiple, supposedly. Yeah, okay, cool. So you can see it built back grenades and liquid tanks and put them in the out directory. Flags, I asked for a clean, which I showed you earlier.
Maybe push the little up button on the console so people can see it more easily instead of the bottom end of the screen.
Like that?
To the right, there's like a little up arrow next to the close button for the console. Yeah.
Ah, awesome, cool. I can also zoom in more if you'd like that. So
Zoom is good.
Beet dev, let's pick. That, so /clean would clear out all the other ones. So if you just, for example, if you have you could symlink your out directory to something. Not that it's needed anymore. I'll get to that in a second. But if you wanted to symlink your out directory to something, for example, I was gonna try to get this, so this out directory was sent to the stream server, so we could actually show things. But I didn't have time to do that, and I was gonna try to symlink to my forgetting the name, to my WinSCP folder essentially. So other ones, the watch flag. So this one is,
Yeah, theoretically here you could send it to Minecraft World, but Special will show something in a second where you can make it so that it automatically does that for you.
Yeah. So watch.
But that will make it really easy to test stuff.
Exactly. Watch is the kind of the next level up. So this, it builds and then it watches for when you save a file. So right now it's watching for changes in back grenades. So if I go to back grenades and I don't know, let's increase the explosion radius some more. So now it's 10,000. Is that a syntax error? Oh, because
it only goes to
a
128.
short. Okay. 125. There we go. So I save this, and then it will watch. It'll see that I made a change, and it'll rebuild. So there we go. It's how to edit it and rebuild. So basically, this will always be up to date with your changes, so you don't have to remember to build, which is great because I definitely forget to build. I definitely would forget to build. I'd make a change and then be like, oh, the bug's still there, because I didn't run the change. I'm gonna go to a single player world real quick. There we go.
Spoilers there.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't look at that. I'm sure it's fine. Because the next, I think is this the only other one is reload episode is watch, clean, and reload.
Reload and link, yeah.
Oh, and link. Okay. Link and reload are
But
pretty
you can do
similar, though.
link separately.
Yeah. So the thing that Blue was mentioning earlier about being able to automatically send it, and what I was saying about you don't really need to symlink your repository to your world anymore. Beet has this awesome, just like baked in feature where you can tell it, hey, this is the world I'm using, or have it auto detect the world I'm using. And whenever you like build changes, it'll automatically put those changes in that world's data pack folder, and it can even automatically reload, which is awesome. So last time I tried this, it didn't work because so this is gonna be live on stream, seeing for the first time. I think without watch, so I'm gonna do it without reload first, just to make sure it gets into the folder. Oh, that would require the argument. Okay. I think it would just be beet link automatically detects, right? Yeah, okay. So this is actually found. It knows that I'm opening beet2 test world, which is cool. So I think in theory if I beet build now, it should automatically, yeah.
Yeah, it does find the world you're playing in. Also, as you saw there, it also said something about resource packs, because it also can do those for you. That may come in later, because we are thinking about of discontinuing the resource pack repository, and instead putting every module's resources into the raw.
Oh.
There was an explosion. Into the raw
gosh.
data source code of each module. So the modules will hold their own texture assets, and then Beet will build it into the resource pack, which will be way nicer.
Yeah.
You can assign a custom Minecraft directory for Beet. I think an environment variable or a command.
So if I do watch and reload, it should like automatically pull my changes into the world.
To do one reload manually, and then it will reload automatically.
So I believe it works with essentially another data pack. Yeah, so it puts like a live reload data pack. Ooh. Which I guess is responsible for the reloading. I don't know if it's like actually works as a purely vanilla data pack, or if it's got some additional Beet features in there. So this should, I'm gonna edit explode to,
Yeah, and it also
root van
copies the
explode.
warnings from the log to your terminal.
Yeah. Oh, so you
Which
can
is very
see
nice.
I've got some in my log. These are errors that showed up here for, I guess, a bunch of Gamemode 4 stuff.
Yeah, those are not really important.
I don't know what these are, to be honest. Anyway, we'll look at those later. But they all showed up in the terminal, so if there was a problem with a command, for example, it would show up. So I think it just finished rebuilding again. Yep. So there's the second one. And I think it did. Yeah, live road reloaded. Look at that.
Jerry's very surprised by knowing when to reload.
All right, here, come here, Bat. This is gonna be great. There we go. You've been.
You can noticeably feel the lag by your voice.
Oh, it's
breaking
great.
down a bit.
Listen, I'm trying to stream as well. That was. We've made some crop circles here. But yeah, so that's where the. Honestly, I think I'm really excited about the Beet development, is because it's adds so much convenience to doing all these things, like, you know, to developing and testing really, really quickly, as opposed to what kind of feels like a slow version, a slow development for most Minecraft stuff. Okay, so I think the other thing we wanted to talk about was the Beet. Can I say YAML? I think I got a DM from Epion earlier saying that gave him PTSD, and I don't know if I'm saying it wrong or if he's just
you
been
say
dealing with
yet
Yankees.
another Macron language, please.
It's self-recursive, actually. They renamed it from yet another markup language to something. It's like the Y stands for YAML now, which is pretty funny. I think it's like YAML, like ain't another markdown language or something. Anyway, I think it's neat. So this is
Would it
kind
be
of.
YAML? Because another is
I'm gonna have to look this up later. YAML ain't markup language, yeah, is what it stands for. And I love me a good recursive recursive thing. Yeah, we know the thumbnail's the old logo, Adrian.
I mean, the thumbnail also is one click, so
it's also it's a
bit
screenshot
outdated.
of a one click. But we don't talk about that. So yeah, the Beet.yaml has replaced what used to be the pack.mc meta, so it both configures all of the things that Beet needs to load, and also has all of our meta information that the website and the build information uses. So, for example, on the website for back grenades, it says, I can actually pull this up really easy.
Background changed again. Will chat notice?
Oh yeah, it is a new background if you want to see it. It's WALL-E, because WALL-E is the best movie. Yeah, so this description here, as well as, all the credits, and if there's a note, for example, this note here says, we modify the bat loot table, so that might be a problem. And also links to the bat grenades video. And so that's, all that information is here, as well as, for example, these two modules are recommended to go along with bat grenades, and those show up here. So that's, that's some of the things that's in the YAML, as well as we also have the information for what actually it needs to run to build it. So bat grenades, all of the source files are just a straight up data pack, essentially. So all these, you could, if you put a pack.mc meta into the GM4 bat grenades folder, it would run as a data pack. But for disassemblers, it wouldn't, because it's missing all the loot tables that get generated. And so the YAML in this case both says, hey, this pack requires lib machines to load, but it also says, hey, we need to run this script to generate all of the files that are needed. And so that goes here in the pipeline. The syntax is still a bit of a mystery to me, but that is where you would go to put a generator. I think there's enough examples both in our own repo and probably in the Beet examples repo to kind of get you through that if you're doing auto generation. It looks like it's pretty simple in terms of this one just runs generate disassembly, which is this, and then I believe, Miss would correct me here, it by default runs any function called beat default. Yeah. There's I think Auto Crafters has I'll load it. I won't build it. I'm too scared. Has some additional stuff, so you can see how big this script is for all the things to generate. But yeah, it's got some data classes and stuff to help with it, and then Beet default is run. The outline isn't useful here. Oh yeah, but like, see, here's analyze shapeless recipe, which I assume is called in, somewhere in Beet default, but this function isn't called directly by the pipeline. Instead, Beet default is,
the entry point.
Yeah. At the end, what's the entry point of the function that you want to run is Beet default, but I believe you can also just specify if you wanted to name something there. For example, we have some Python scripts in the base folder that do different things if we're releasing or developing, and so it specifies a different entry point into that file.
Yeah, you can place multiple plugins in the same file.
Yeah.
By default, it will use the Beet default
All right. Is there anything else you wanted to kind of have me show off for the YAML episode?
I think that's mostly it. Yeah.
I think that's kind of a good. I feel like part of this is me making sure I understand what's going on, and also trying to see where the hiccup points are for, um, other people working on this. So I think we're in a pretty good place for, I think this is a good like development thing, for where we're going, and it's useful, and I think it's probably worth the slight kind of hiccup that it's going to introduce in how we develop.
Can we ask questions now?
This isn't a lecture, Blue. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Studies are getting over my head. Everything's a lecture these days. When it generates those credits, credit MD or whatever it is, does it pull the credits from the contributors dot JSON?
It's like links in Markdown.
Oh, nice. That's very nice. Yeah, some context a while ago, probably like a year or so ago now, we switched back then Pectodams made us from containing like the links to people's social media, and instead it now just contains the name. Like you can see there, just Sparks of Frederick90, and there's one central file where we maintain all the links to people's credits, because it was getting kind of a mess and people forgot to update their social media every.
I accidentally just moved a folder, but this is
Yeah.
this isn't where it is. It's not in AutoCrafters. I just tried to drag a file into a workspace and it didn't like that. So this is what the contributors JSON file looks like. So you have your name and then wherever you want to be credited to, whether it be Twitter or Discord or I think there's at least one.
Yeah, we've had this for a while. My question just was like, when it generates credits for inside the release modules, does it just put a name or does it put the link? And Mizot said puts markdown links, which is nice.
Yeah. And this is where it pulled from. So I don't know if we've been as up to date with making sure our contributors file is right, but if you're making a data pack or a module that you're submitting to Gamemode for, definitely don't let us forget to add you to the contributors, Jason. Yeah.
Probably a thing to tell footy burners.
Is he the
The mountaineering one, yeah.
mountaineering? Yeah.
I don't see this to add himself.
Oh, okay, cool.
It should be in the PR.
It should be in the PR. I imagine that's something that can be easily missed though.
Though that PR would conflict with the Beet PR.
Yeah. We'll have to work out how we're gonna handle the cars.
Yeah. We're in a weird place where like 2 or 3 different PRs are waiting for the Beet PR, but also as soon as we do the Beet PR, every other PR is gonna become invalidated. So, but that's okay. We'll get there.
Our GitHub can have a little bit of invalidation, as
Yeah,
it reads.
that's fine. What's with the BPR? The lowercase b?
Which of them?
Is
Sorry.
beeps listed with a lowercase b? There's a b?
No, I think Jerry was just playing on BPR.
Oh. All of our PRs are BPRs at this point. Yeah. Yeah. I think one thing I just wanted to quickly show, because this got me really excited, but it doesn't have to explicitly do with this PR. It's just more of a looking forward kind of thing. Is how easy it is to use Bolt. So Bolt is like Python and functions had a baby. So you can like iterate in a function file to generate other lines of code, which is very nice. And there's a bunch of other more powerful stuff, but that's like the part that my brain has managed to understand. And let's see if I can remember how to do this off the top of my head. I believe it's just require Bolt, and then in the pipeline you add Mecha, I think. I think those are the 3 lines. So for example, in Yeah, let's do explore.
Another point where this will come in very helpful is when the Gamemode 4 libraries eventually get released as proper libraries somewhere, like the Smith libraries got or are in the process of being released. This will allow other people using the same Beet system to very easily import the Gamemode 4 libraries into their workspaces.
So, I believe this will work. Yeah. Oh. What's up here? Permission error. That's exciting.
Hmm.
Let me see if
Okay.
just restarting
This
it.
is on screen
Clean
effect.
without the dash.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes. Is it that?
No, without any dashes. Beat clean and without def.
Ah, gotcha.
I wish my cleaning up the house was so easy. 5,950
That worked that time.
changes.
Okay, cool. Don't know what that was about. So, actually, let me go back to that window. So, Bolt is like a mix of Python and functions. So this one, for example, it's a on build time Python execution. So it's not like real variables, which is I've seen a lot of people I think get confused about that. But this, for example, will generate. This is the first command, second command, third command on the build when it builds. So in here we should see, yeah, this is the 0th command, this is the first command, this is the second command. Which
Think
definitely,
like it's compiling Python to MC function in a way. It's
yeah,
using Python instructions to compile MC function to more MC function,
exactly.
I
And
guess.
I think that has the potential to be really useful in a lot of our things because there's a lot of repetition in data packing. It seems. Oh, this is the old application.
I think
but
there's
in the-
also a slight danger to overuse it though.
yeah, that's true. So we'll definitely have to find where our balance of when do we use this, when is it not worth it, and stuff like that. But for things like the guidebook pack, I imagine that this is going to be quite useful for guidebook.
Don't you mind a PPR about a guidebook pack?
Sorry, I didn't mean to summon any ghosts, but there's apparently a ton of different functionality that you can do with this. Using all of the full features of Python, probably classes and data classes and stuff. I think they call them plugins, I believe. You can have a .bolt file that just has plugins if you want.
I kind of forgot. Maybe Mizard knows more about it. Did they, or actually Beeps will know more about it. The Smith action bar library, is that installable via Beet yet? Via
Yes.
the system? Yes. So we could show that.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I don't know how to either. I was hoping someone you do.
Add it as a dependency to Poetry, and then we can use it in the pipeline.
Do you want me to try anything with that right now, or is that still nebulous?
Hold on, I'll
It'll be cool to test out because it will be similar with the Gamemode 4 libraries once they are properly published. So, we should really get around to.
Yeah, just to kind of catch up the stream people. Beet Smith has been working on a bunch of command-based libraries that handle kind of compatibility between different data packs that do similar things. For example, a lot of data packs use the action bar. So BPR is actually, I believe, in charge of at least this library, maybe all of them? Question mark.
I'm in charge of conventions.
Conventions.
which
Not
is
conversion.
like all of the rules that like decide how things become compatible with each other.
Yeah, BPR is Smithed Police. So one of the libraries, for example, is the uh, action bar library. So a lot of modules use the action bar for displaying text. We use it in, liquid tanks and XP storage to show, how many levels are in the tank, or
I think it's all of it
do we
because we
use it
used it
anywhere
very
else?
sparingly because no, we used it only there, I think, because we used it very sparingly due to the action bar being a limited resource. So if some data pack uses the action bar, that will use the action bar, and you will see a message there depending on which of your data packs lives first if you have multiple data packs using it. So we used it very sparingly because of that thing. It wasn't a safe thing to use. A similar thing goes with like loot tables, but that's another story.
Yeah.
However, Beet, I think Beeps was also in charge of that a bit with the action bar library, which is basically an API where you can say, I want to show something on the action bar, and then that library works out what to display, which module gets to go first, and makes sure that one module doesn't get all the action bar time.
Yeah. So there are like action bars, for example, you can use it for like if your pack added a thirst meter. The action bar is a really useful way to add that type of UI down by the hotbar. So if you played Gamemode 4 with anything that had like a thirst bar, you probably wouldn't see any of our action bar stuff. So that's some of the things that are coming in the future is those kind of compatibilities, which will in theory help with a lot of.
So the smithed libraries are already in the project, it seems. So you can just add smithed libraries.actionbar to the pipeline, and that will add those data packs when you build them.
And they will then appear in the build versions of the module.
Yeah.
Let's see this.
And the idea is that eventually, hopefully soon, the Gamemode 4 libraries will be released in a similar way, and then you can just go team4_libraries dot force load to get a force load library if you want to use that, or team4_libraries dot traits if you want the lib traits library. Peeps, didn't you want to update something on that too?
Do I have to put it before Misode?
No, not our lib trades. I wanted to make a Smith default trade library.
Oh, right,
But
because
that's
it
unrelated.
did something. Those were two different tasks. Yeah, I remember that discussion.
Yeah.
It seems to have some sort of error at the moment, but
Not sure why, because it was working locally for me. We'd have to look into that.
let me just try restarting, see if that does anything. I might not have Smithed Action Bar installed on my machine for some reason.
I think we've shown the basics, we've shown the advantages.
Yeah.
And the stream recap, the stream video should serve as a useful resource for people looking into Gamemode 4 development in the future.
Yeah, I think this is hopefully accomplished what we were setting out to do. I think, particularly Blue, I'm hoping that you kind of agree with my conclusion that this is exciting.
Yeah, I do.
Go forward with it, which is good. And then for people in the future who are looking to kind of use Gamemode 4 and develop for it, hopefully this rambling and confusing and not rehearsed at all stream is at least a little bit useful. Recently I've been finding that like going back to old Gamemode 4 streams for like information on why we made decisions on like lightning rods or something has been useful. So I thought this might be useful for in a year when we're like, why did we choose to do that? So at the very least I'll look back at this. But yeah.
Alright. Let's look it up here then. No need to check it out.
Yep. A nice, just over, a couple minutes over an hour. Thank you to everyone who, dropped by and said hi. Hopefully, an entirely code stream wasn't wasn't the worst. I'm excited for the Beet, definitely.
Before
Especially.
you end this, could you show off Maxwell again?
Oh yes. I've been playing with particles. We had a meeting before the stream just to talk about how we can how we can update some of our modules. So
There's your particle magic.
oh,
Maxwell
thank you.
spitting fire.
Yeah, spinning cat, Maxwell. Ooh, particles. But yeah,
Can we get that on his mouth?
got a new thumbnail. But yeah, thanks everyone. I guess we'll see you around, hopefully in the Discord, when inevitably everything breaks, when we merge this PR.
Good night.
Yeah. See you guys.